A very good evening to all of you. This is Surat Kumar Mishra and you are watching my channel Surkep. In my previous lecture, already I have taught Prostate Chapter 1 Chemical Reaction and Equation. So just a general definition of chemical reaction and equation and properties of chemical reaction and types of chemical reaction. Today last topic which is remaining, that is balancing of chemical equation and corrosion is the effect of oxidation and reduction, corrosion and acidity. About that we have to discuss. So first is that balancing of chemical equation. So what is balancing of chemical equation? A chemical equation which has definition of balanced chemical equation. A chemical equation which has an equal number of atoms of all the elements of reactant and product. All the elements of reactant and product. Okay, a chemical equation which has an equal number of atoms of all the elements of reactant and product. It means already I have told that in the left hand side we have to write the reactant, okay, and in the right hand side we have to write product, and between them one arrow we have to put, okay, which will indicate towards the product. So in the reactant the atoms, okay, how many numbers of atoms of elements it is present in the reactant, it should be equal to the number of atoms of each element in the reactant, it should be equal to the atoms of product. For example, suppose here 2A plus 3B, okay, it is reacting and it is forming what? Suppose this is forming one of the compound A2B3, okay, A2B3 it is forming. So this what the number of here A atoms here it is 2 and B atoms here it is 3, and here also 2 atoms of A and 3 atoms of B is present. So it is balanced. So in this way means what? Here it is compound, one of the compound is there, so all the equation we have to balance. Either it is made up of elements or it is made up of compound, whatever it is. So first we have to write what are the rules by which we can balance the chemical reaction easily. So write down the rules. There are so many methods by which we can balance the chemical equation. Okay, so one of the best method, that is by this method we can balance it any of the chemical reaction. First, rules to balance a chemical equation. Okay, first point. First we have to balance all the metals, okay, which present in the reaction. All the metals which present in the reaction. If it is more than one metal, okay, if it is more than the metals more than one metal, okay, then we have to balance first. We have to balance first that metal which is present in the reaction, which is present in the equation, okay, in the equation in a maximum number, okay, means the metals which is having more atoms, okay, which contain maximum number of atoms, we have to start the balance that metal, and after that the next metal we have to balance. After balancing the metals, in the next step we have to proceed, okay, after balancing of metals, all the metals we have to balance non-metals, all non-metal, okay, all non-metals except oxygen and hydrogen, oxygen and hydrogen. Here also we have to, if it is more than one non-metal it is present, so we have to start the balancing of that non-metal which is present in the, which is having more number of atoms, Third point, after balancing the non-metals, after balancing of non-metals, check that all the metals and non-metals are balanced, okay, means after balancing the non-metals we have to check it that what from the first, either all the metals are balanced or not, okay, and all the metals and non-metals are balanced or not, and if it is not balanced, so we have to balance it, okay, by the balancing of, suppose by the balancing of non-metals, if any metal it is disturbed, okay, the number of metals of reactant is unequal to the number of metals of product, so we have to, if it is not balanced, so we have to balance it first. If it is not balanced, then balance first, balance this first, okay, after that we have to proceed in the next step. I think first step you have written already, means first we have to start the balancing of metals, okay, if in any of the equation in which more than two metals are present, So we have to start the balancing of that metal in which maximum number of atom is present. Okay. After that we have to proceed the second metal. By the balancing of all the metals, in the next step we have to start the balancing of non-metals. Okay, except oxygen and the hydrogen. And after, in the third step, after balancing of all the non-metals, we have to check it that all the metals and all the non-metals, it is balanced or not. Or by the balancing of all non-metals, metal it is disturbed or not disturbed. Still it is balanced. We have to check it in each of the step. So in the next step, fourth point you have to write. After balancing of metals and non-metals, except oxygen and hydrogen. Fourth step you have to write that after balancing of metals and non-metals, now we have to balance oxygen. Now we have to balance oxygen. Okay. After the balancing of oxygen, check it from the starting. Okay. After balancing it, okay, check it again from starting whether WHEA whether all metals, non-metals, and oxygen is balanced or not. Okay. After that, after checking that all the metals, non-metals, including the oxygen, if it is balanced, okay. So in the next step, we have to balance the oxygen. Next and last step, we have to balance hydrogen. Now we have to balance. Now we have to balance hydrogen. Okay, and after the balancing of these, after balancing hydrogen, check it from the starting. Starting again that all elements are balanced. That all the elements are balanced. Okay. Means in each of this step we have to check it that what from the starting. Okay. That all the elements means from the starting step whatever we are balancing. Okay. From suppose from the first step we are balancing the metals. So metal it is in the second step if we are coming, or after balancing of second step non-metals. Okay, it has disturbed the metals, balancing of metals or not. Okay, if it has disturbed, so we have to first again we have to balance the metals. So again by the computing of third step, again we have to check it that after the balancing of oxygen, that metals, all the metals and the non-metals except oxygen and the hydrogen, it is balanced or not. In the each of these step we have to check it from the starting. Okay, so metals you can, I think you have written all the points. Okay. The next step means all the metals. First we have to balance all the metals. So any of the metals, whatever it is present. For example, zinc. Examples of metals. There are so many metals. Okay. In the whole periodic table, 80% of element it stands for metals. Means 80% of 118 elements are there. Total 118 elements are there. So out of 118 elements, 80% of elements are metals. So for example, examples of metals, that is what, if zinc is present, if copper is present, if platinum is present, if sodium is present, if magnesium is present. So first we have to balance such type of elements. Okay, and then after that non-metals. Examples of non-metals, for examples, except the oxygen and the hydrogen. Suppose chlorine, phosphorus, okay, nitrogen. Then after that, any other element, chlorine I have written already, sulfur. Okay, next carbon. Okay, so many non-metals are there. So these are non-metals. Okay, so after the balancing of metals, we have to proceed. We have to start the balancing of this type of element, non-metals. And in the next step, oxygen. Next step, hydrogen. So these are the methods or rules by which we have to balance the chemical reaction. Suppose that now we have to practice it. Okay. Now we have to practice it. First equation, that is carbon plus oxygen. Okay, that it will form carbon dioxide. So here in the reactant side, one atom of carbon is present, no any metal is present. So we have to proceed. In the next step, second step, non-metal. Okay, and we have to balance except the oxygen. So carbon is present. So carbon, one atom of carbon in the reactant, one atom of carbon in the product. Okay. After that, carbon is balanced already. Next we have to proceed oxygen. So 2 atoms of oxygen in the reactant side and 2 atoms of oxygen in the product side. Means already it is balanced. Next we have to balance, that is Fe plus H2O. Second equation which we have to balance, Fe plus H2O is equal to Fe3O4 plus H2. This equation suppose we have to balance. Okay, so start the balancing. First we have to, in the first step, we have to start the balancing of metals. So which element is metal? Here it is iron, Fe. Okay, Fe is metal. So in the left hand side, in the reactant side, 1 atom of Fe is present, and in the right hand side, in the product side, 3 atom of Fe is present. Okay, so we cannot write in such type of elements. Suppose that Fe we have to balance it. So we cannot write in the reactant side Fe. This is the wrong method. Okay, wrong method of balancing the chemical equation. In front of the symbol, we can multiply it by the numerals. Okay, in front of the symbol, each symbol we can multiply by the numerals. So here it will be, what will be 3Fe. Okay, you have to multiply by the 3 because in the 3 atoms of iron is present in the product side. So 3Fe plus H2O is equal to Fe3O4 plus H2. Okay. Now in the second step, we have to balance non-metals except oxygen and hydrogen. So here except the hydrogen and oxygen, no any other non-metal is present. So we have to start the balancing of oxygen. So here it is one atom of oxygen present in the reactant side and 4 atom of oxygen it is present in the product side. So 3Fe plus we have to multiply by the water molecule in front of water molecule by the 4. So 4H2O is equal to Fe3O4 plus H2. Now again we have to check it that iron it is balanced or not. So here 3 atoms of iron is present in the reactant side, 3 atoms of iron is present in the product side. Okay, 4 atom of oxygen is present in the reactant side, 4 atom of oxygen is present in the product side. Now in the next step, that is we have to balance the hydrogen. So 4 to the 8 hydrogen atom it is present in the reactant side and here only 2 hydrogen atom is present. So we have to multiply it by 4. So that will be final 3Fe plus 4H2O is equal to Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Okay, again we have to check it from the starting. So here 3Fe of 3 atoms of iron is present in the reactant side, 3 atoms of iron is present in the product side. Okay, 4 atom of oxygen is present in the product side, reactant side, and 4 atom of oxygen is present in the product side. Here 4 to the 8 atom of hydrogen is present in the reactant side, 4 to the 8 atom of hydrogen is present in the product side. So here it is what? Balanced. Now it is balanced. Okay, balanced chemical equation. Let me have to balance some more chemical reaction. Okay, some more chemical reaction, chemical equation. For example, this is NaOH. Suppose NaOH. I think you have written this. Yes. Third equation, that is NaOH plus H2SO4. Sodium hydroxide aqueous medium plus H2SO4 aqueous medium. Okay, and it is forming Na2SO4. Okay, Na2SO4 plus H2O. Na2SO4 here it will be also aqueous plus H2O liquid. Okay, this we have to balance. So here it is. First we have to start the balancing of metals. Okay, in this both of the compound, which is metal? Sodium. So sodium in the reactant side, 1 atom of sodium is present, and in the product side 2 atoms of sodium is present. So we have to start the balancing of sodium. So here 2NaOH plus H2SO4 is equal to Na2SO4 plus H2. So now sodium it is balanced. Now we have to balance the non-metals. No any other other metal is present. So we have to balance the non-metal except oxygen and hydrogen. So except oxygen and hydrogen, here it is present, sulfur is present. Okay, sulfur, 1 atom of sulfur atom is present in the reactant side and 1 atom of sulfur is present in the product side also. So already it is balanced. Next step we have to balance oxygen. So 2 atoms of oxygen here and 4 atom of oxygen here. So 4 plus 2, 6. And here 4 atoms of oxygen and 5 atom of oxygen. So what we have to do? We have to multiply by 2 to this water molecule. So 2NaOH aqua medium plus H2SO4 aqueous medium is equal to Na2SO4 aqueous plus 2H2. So now the oxygen it is balanced. Okay, now oxygen is balanced. After that 4 plus 2, now it is balanced. Yes. Okay, again we have to check it from the starting. So 2 atoms of sodium, okay, and here also 2 atoms of sodium. Then 2 plus 4, okay, 6 atoms of oxygen in the reactant side. 4 plus 2, 6 atoms of oxygen in the product side also. Now we have to balance hydrogen. Last step. So 2 atoms of hydrogen here, 2 atoms of hydrogen here. Okay, 4 atoms of hydrogen is present in the reactant side, and here 2 to the 4. 4 atoms of hydrogen is present also present on the product side. So we have to check it again. So 2 atoms of sodium in the reactant, 2 atoms of sodium in the product. Okay, 2 plus 4, 6 atoms of oxygen in the reactant side. 4 plus 2, 6 atoms of oxygen in the product side. Okay, 2 plus 2, 4 atoms of hydrogen in the reactant side. 2 to the 4, 4 atoms of hydrogen in the product side also. So now it is balanced. This is balanced. Okay, write down. Okay, I think we've written. Now next equation which we have to balance, that is, write down barium methane plus oxygen gas. Fourth equation, CH4 plus O2 gas. Okay, it forms CO2 plus H2O. CO2 plus H2O in the liquid state. Yes. We have to balance this equation. Is there any metal present? No. All are non-metals. Okay. Except the hydrogen and the oxygen second step. Any other non-metal? Yes. Carbon is present. So carbon here, atom of carbon is 1 in the reactant side. Atom of carbon is 1 in the product side. Okay. Next step we have to balance. Atom of oxygen. We have to balance the oxygen. 2 atoms of oxygen is present in the reactant side. 2 and a plus 1. 3 atoms of oxygen is present in the what? Product side. So here we can multiply it because it is odd number. So we have to convert it into the even number. Okay. So first we have to multiply it by this CH4 gaseous plus O2 gas, okay, is equal to CO2 gas plus H2O. So this number of oxygen atom, first we have to convert it into the even number, because here in the even number oxygen atoms is present. So 2 into H2O. Okay, 2 into H2O. Now here 4 atoms of oxygen is present. Here 2 atoms of oxygen is present. So easily we can multiply it by the 2 O2. Now in the reactant side 4 atoms of oxygen, in the product side also 4 atoms of oxygen. Okay, so we have to check it again from the starting. 1 atom of carbon in the reactant, 1 atom of carbon in the product. 2 to the 4, 4 atoms of oxygen in the reactant side. 2 plus 2, 4 atoms of oxygen in the product side. Now 4 atoms of hydrogen is present in the reactant side, and here 2 to the 4, 4 atoms of hydrogen is also present in the product side. Okay, now here it is balanced. Okay, next chemical equation which we have to balance, that is I am erasing this all the equation you have written already. Fourth equation already we have discussed. 1 or 2 equation again, some more chemical equation we have to discuss, that is Mg3 magnesium nitride plus H2O plus H2O is equal to magnesium hydroxide MgOH whole twice plus NH3. Okay, NH3. This equation we have to balance. Here So first we have to start the balancing of metals. So here 3 atoms of magnesium, here 1 atom of magnesium. So first we have to balance the magnesium. Fifth number, this one, chemical equation. So Mg3 N3 N2, yes, N2, because the valency of magnesium is 2, no? It will cross to each other. Here also it is M2. Magnesium its valency is 2, nitrogen its valency is 3, so that it will cross over. Okay, this cross. After that, H2O. So here it is, we have to multiply it by the 3. So 3MgOH whole twice plus NH. In the second step, we have to start the balancing of non-metals. After the balancing of metals. So next is nitrogen. Nitrogen, two atoms of nitrogen is present in the reactant side, and 1 atom of nitrogen is present in the product side. So we have to multiply it by ammonia. We have to multiply it by 2. So Mg3 N2 plus H2O is equal to 3MgOH whole twice magnesium hydroxide plus we have to multiply it by 2 NH3. Okay, 2NH3. So now again we have to check it from the starting. 3 atom of magnesium in the reactant, 3 atom of magnesium in the product. Okay, 2 atom of nitrogen is present in the reactant, 2 atoms of nitrogen is present in the product. Okay, then we have to start oxygen, number of oxygen atom. Here 1 atom of oxygen, and here this 3 it is for the whole equation, and this 2 it is only for oxygen and the hydrogen. So 3 2 ja 6. Okay, 6 atom of oxygen is present. 6 atom of oxygen is present and 6. Okay, so here we have to multiply it by 6. Here we have to multiply it by 6. 6H2. Again we have to check it from the starting. So 3Mg in the reactant, 3 atom of Mg in the reactant, 3 atom of Mg in the product. 2 atom of nitrogen in the reactant, 2 atom of nitrogen in the product. Now 6 atom of oxygen in the reactant and 3 to the 6 atom of oxygen in the product. Now we have to balance in the last step. 6 to the 12. 12 atom of hydrogen in the reactant and 3 to the 6. 6 atom of hydrogen and 2 3 the 6. 6 atom of hydrogen. Okay, this 12 atom of hydrogen. Now it is balanced. Again we have to check it from the starting either it is balanced or not. Okay, hydrogen we have checked, no? 3 atom of magnesium, 3 atom of magnesium, 2 atom of nitrogen in the reactant, 2 atom of nitrogen in the reactant, 6 atom of oxygen in the reactant. Okay, 3 to the 6 atom of oxygen in the reactant. Now 6 to the 12 atom of hydrogen in the reactant and 3 to the 6 and 2 3 the 6. Okay, so 6 plus 6 12 atom of hydrogen in the product side. Okay, so you have to balance that. I am giving you some chemical equation which you have to balance it as a homework. Okay, I am giving you some equation that is barium hydroxide plus HBr HW. First barium hydroxide, it is in the plus HBr hydrogen bromide in the aqueous state. When it reacts, then it will form what? BaBr2 barium bromide, BaBr2 aqueous plus H2O electrode. Okay, one more question which you have to balance, that is copper oxide plus oxide plus NH3. Okay, cupric oxide plus NH3 is equal to Cu plus N2 plus H2. This both of the equation you have to balance. Okay, and some more equation from the NCERT book you have to practice it. And if you are unable to balance it, then you can ask me. Next topic which was remaining, that is balancing of ionic equation. How to balance the ionic equation? Okay, suppose this is the number of atoms on the basis of atoms on the reactant side and the product side we have balanced. Suppose we have to balance along with the atoms, if we have to balance ions. Okay, so the number of what is ionic equation? Balancing of chemical equation means if the number of ions along with the atoms of all the elements, along with the balancing of atoms of all the elements of reactant and the product. Okay, if the ions means cations and the anions, if the positive charge of reactant is equal to the positive charge of product and the negative charge of reactant is equal to the negative charge of product, then it is known as what? Ionic equation. Suppose for example we have to understand it. Suppose that aluminium, one of the example is there, that is aluminium plus hydrogen. Okay, H plus N. Okay, hydrogen ion is equal to, that is forming Al3 plus plus H2. Okay, is it clear? So first we have to balance it, the number of aluminium. Okay, charge, here charge it is to balance hydrogen atoms. First we have to multiply. Okay, first we have to what we have to start the balancing of aluminium. So here one atom of aluminium is present, here also one atom of aluminium is present. Number of atoms of metal is reactant is equal to product. So now we have to balance hydrogens. Okay, so hydrogens, here one atom of hydrogen, here two atoms of hydrogen. So we have to multiply it by the 2. Okay, Al plus H plus, we have to multiply it by 2. So 2H plus is Al3 plus H2. Okay, now we have to balance here 2 positive charges present and here 3 positive charge. So how it will equal? When we multiply it by 3, so it will be 6 positive charge, and when we multiply it by 2, then also it will be 6 positive charge. So Al plus what? 2H plus is equal to 2. Yes, here we have to write 6H plus. Why? Because number of charge we have to balance it. So 6H plus equal to 2L3 plus H2. Now charge it is balanced. Here 6 positive charge. Here also 2 3 6H plus 6 positive charge. Okay. So now we have to balance it number of atoms. So here 2 aluminium atoms is present in the product side and here 1 aluminium atom. So we have to multiply it by 2. Okay, 2 aluminium atom, and here 6 hydrogen atoms is present in the reactant side. So we have to multiply it by 3. 3 to the 6. Now we have to check it that all the ions are and all the atom it is balanced or not. 2 aluminium atoms is present in the reactant side. Okay, 2 aluminium atom it is present in the product side. 6 hydrogen atom is present in the reactant side. 3 to the 6 hydrogen atom it is present in the product side. Now 6 positive charge it is present in the reactant side. 2 3 is 6. 6 positive charge in the product side also. Okay, one more example that by that I am explaining that I minus, I think you have written this. Second example, write down that is I minus plus H2O2 is equal to OH minus plus I2 plus I2. Now here one minus charge is present in the reactant side, one minus charge is present in the product side. Charge it is balanced. So number of atoms we have to balance here. Okay, number of atoms we have to balance here. First we have to balance iodine. Okay, so one iodine atom is present in the reactant side, two iodine atom it is present in the product side. So we have to multiply it by 2. So 2I minus plus H2O2 is equal to OH minus plus I2. Okay, I2. Now again we have to balance the number of atoms. Okay, now here two oxygen atom and two hydrogen atom is present, and in the product side one hydrogen atom and one oxygen atom is present. So we have to multiply it by 2 OH minus. Okay, now we have to check it that charge here, two negative charge is present in the reactant side, two negative charge is present in the product side. Okay, the number of iodine atom it is 2 in the reactant, the number of iodine atom it is also 2 in the product side. 2 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of oxygen in the reactant, 2 atoms of oxygen and 2 atoms of hydrogen in the product. So now it is balanced. Now it is balanced. Okay, so next topic which we have to read, that is chemical equation can be made more informative. This topic it was remaining. Okay, chemical equation it can be made more informative. We can write the chemical equation, okay, along with the more information. How can we write such type of chemical equation in which the information it is more? First, the physical state chemical equation. First we will write down chemical equation can be made more informative. Okay, how? First point, that is what? The physical states of reactant and the product can be indicated by the use of certain letters. Physical states of reactant and the products can be indicated by certain letters. Okay, suppose if small s is written, it is stand for solid state. Small s is written, it is stand for solid state. If small l is written, it is stand for liquid state. Okay, if small g is written in the bracket, okay, in all these it will be written in the bracket. Small g is written, so it is stand for gaseous state. If aq is written, so it is stand for aqueous state. In which water is present as a solvent. So for the solid state S, for the liquid state L, for the gaseous state G, and for the aqueous state AQ. Okay, for example, Fe plus H2O, that equation which we have balanced. Okay, 3Fe plus 4H2O is equal to Fe3O4 plus what? 4H2. So here in this equation, iron it is present in the solid state. S stands for solid state, water that is present in the gaseous state, gaseous form. Okay, in the reactant side. Fe3O4, it is present in the solid state. It is also present in the solid state, and 4H2 it is present in the gaseous state. 4H2 it is present in the gaseous state. So it is indicating that the states of reactant and a product. So by the writing this, what we can know the states of reactant and a product. Second thing by which we can know the, I think you have written this, that is second point, that is a gas produced in a reaction. Okay, suppose that if gas is released, evolved by the reaction, a gas produced in a reaction, okay, can be expressed by, okay, can be expressed by or can be represented, can be represented by, okay, by indicating arrow, okay, by an arrow, pointing upward direction, pointing in a upward direction, okay. If any gas is producing after the reaction, so we have to write the upward direction is in this way, just the arrow it will we have to put, okay. And if a precipitate is formed in the reaction, and if a precipitate is formed, insoluble substance, precipitate is formed during the reaction, okay, it can also be represented by, it can also be indicated by an arrow, okay, pointing in a downward direction, okay, downward direction means in this way, okay. Suppose precipitate is formed, so we have to put the such type of downward direction arrow, okay. So it will indicate that the given substance, it is in the form of precipitate, it is forming. Suppose for example of this gas and the precipitate, that is zinc plus zinc metals in the solid state when it react with the H2SO4, okay. H2SO4 it is in the aqueous form, means water is present in this solution as a solvent. It is formed zinc sulfate, aqua, okay, zinc sulfate plus H2 in the gaseous form, okay. So here it is indicating, the arrow it is indicating in the upward direction. It means that here hydrogen gas it is evolving. Why? The gases, because it is light in a way, so that it will raise in the upward direction, so that the arrow it indicates towards the upward direction, Okay, and all these state here, zinc it is present in the solid state. What? Sulfuric acid it is in the aqueous state. Aqueous state means where water is present as a solvent. Okay, and zinc sulfate also it is in the aqueous state, and hydrogen it is in the gaseous state. And this gaseous state moves in the upward direction, so that it is represented in the upward direction. It moves in the upward gas. Okay, so one more example that in which what it indicates that in which precipitate is formed. Suppose barium chloride. When barium chloride it react, okay, barium chloride it react with the sodium sulfate. When barium chloride it react with the sodium sulfate, then it forms barium sulfate, BaSO4, okay, plus 2NaCl. 2NaCl, that is in the liquid form, aqua form. Okay, clear? So barium sulfate here it is PPT, precipitate. Why? Because it is in the downward direction. Means in the, suppose in the test tube if we are proceeding this reaction, so bottom of the test tube we will get the barium sulfate. Bottom of the test tube we will get the barium sulfate. So by this what? If the gas or precipitate is formed, so gas is formed, so we have to represent the arrow in the upward direction. If precipitate is formed, then we have to represent it in the downward direction. Next information, if it is a reversible reaction, the reversible reaction are indicated by double-headed arrow. Written, yes. Reversible reaction are represented by double-headed arrow. Okay. Third point, reversible reaction means both of the side which can proceed. Reversible reaction are represented by double-headed arrow. Double-headed arrow. Okay, it means, for example, in this way. One of the direction is doing this in the left and the right, both of the directions of the reaction it is proceeding. For example, that is, yes, function of ammonia, N2 plus 3H2. Okay, it is proceeding in the ammonia 2NH3. Okay, means by the combining of nitrogen and hydrogen, ammonia can be formed. Okay, and it can be decomposed. The ammonia can be decomposed into nitrogen and hydrogen, both of them. Okay, element. Next, the next point, the actual concentration. I think written this is you have got reversible reaction means which can proceed left to right and right to left, both of the direction. Okay, that is known as what? Reversible reaction. And if it is proceeding what? Only one direction. If it is proceeding means from left to right, then it is known as what? Unidirectional, or right to left, whatever it is. Left to right, if it is proceeding what? Then it is unidirectional. Unidirectional, single direction. Okay. So next and the fourth point, that is the actual concentration of reactant in the product cannot be mentioned. Okay. The actual concentration of reactant in the product it cannot be mentioned. But okay, for example of acid and bases. In case of acid and bases, the word concentration, okay, actual concentration of reactant and a product cannot be mentioned. Okay, but in case of acid base Okay, in case of acid base, okay, diluted concentrated what is used? Dilute and concentrated, dilute and concentrated is used for dilute solution, dilute or dilute acid or base, okay, dilute solution, okay, and concentrated solution, okay. Means concentrated means where what the amount of solute is present in the maximum amount, okay. If the amount of solute is present in the maximum amount, then it is concentrated, and if the amount of solute is less, then it is maximum amount of solvent is present, then it is known as what? Dilute. Okay, suppose in that sugar in a glass of water, if we are adding the means half of the spoon of sugar, okay, half of the spoon of sugar or very little amount of sugar if we are adding, so it is a dilute solution of dilute sugar solution. And if we are adding in a glass of water 2 spoon of sugar, so it will be concentrated, 2-3 spoon of sugar, so it will be concentrated solution. So for example, just potassium chlorate, zinc, that already I have given the example, zinc in the solid state plus H2SO4, here H2SO4 it is dilute, H2SO4 is dilute, okay, and it will form, means H2SO4 it is aqueous in the dilute H2SO4 it is written, it is aqueous and here it is dilute, okay, dilute H2SO4 it is used, so it will form what? Zinc sulfate aqueous plus H2 along with the evolution of hydrogen gas, okay. This is the example in which dilute is represented. So in this way, what concentrated also it is used. So concentrated what also it is used. Next, and flip the point, that is, I think you have got this. The actual concentrate it cannot be mentioned, but the dilute, concentrated, such type of what it can be mentioned or it can be represented. Next point, that is flip the point, that is sometimes the condition of the reaction such as temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. shown. Okay, flip the point. Sometimes the condition of the reaction is in temperature, if it is specific pressure, catalyst, okay, catalyst are shown above and below the arrow, are shown above or below the arrow, okay, above and below the arrow in the chemical equation, okay, below the arrow in a chemical equation in the equation, okay. For example, just potassium chlorate, by heating the potassium chlorate to KClO3, okay, it is present in the gaseous state. By heating of this potassium chlorate it forms 2KCl in the solid form, and the oxygen is produced 3O2. Okay, here by this method what we can prepare the oxygen gas, which is very necessary in this pandemic situation. Okay, potassium chlorate, by the decomposition of potassium chlorate oxygen gas it is prepared. So here heat above the arrow it is written, means heat is necessary, okay, for this reaction. What is this? Heat is necessary for this reaction, means it is what? Endothermic reaction. Heat is required for the proceeding of this reaction. Okay. Second, when carbon monoxide, okay, carbon monoxide when it react with the, this is first equation in which heat is required. When carbon monoxide gas it react with the hydrogen gas, so it forms methanol. It forms methanol, CH3OH, methanol, which is known as methanol or methyl alcohol. Okay, methyl alcohol or methanol. Organic chemistry we will read that. Okay, methanol, because of presence of OH group. So here for the proceeding of this reaction, it requires 340 atm pressure. 340 atm atmospheric pressure. Okay, for the formation of the methanol or methyl alcohol. Okay, where carbon monoxide and the hydrogen gas it will combine at 340 atmospheric pressure, then it will form methanol or methyl alcohol. One more example in which catalyst is used, the photosynthesis reaction. Photosynthesis, which means we are ready from the childhood period, 6H2O plus 6CO2, it forms C6H12O6 plus 6O2. Okay, 6 to the 12. Okay, 12 plus 6 13. 6 to the 12 plus 6 13. Yes, it is balanced. So for the proceeding of this, what is this? C6H12O6, this is glucose. Okay, photosynthesis process for the when carbon dioxide and water are combined in the presence of sunlight. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So here sunlight will act as a catalyst. Okay, sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, it acts as a catalyst. Clear? So that then it will form what? Glucose and oxygen. So these are the what means what? Pressure. Pressure is represent catalyst here, sunlight, temperature here, heat. Okay. So in this way, if it is for the more informative of the chemical equation, sometimes it is also represented because it is necessary. Without this reaction it cannot be proceed. Next and the last point of this. Okay, 6th point. I think you have written this. Yes. How it will be more informative. Okay. That is last point. The energy changes are expressed in the chemical equation. 6th point. The energy changes okay, the energy changes are expressed in a chemical reaction. Okay, if heat evolved, we write plus. If heat is produced, okay, then we have to write we have to represent plus sign in the product side. And if heat is absorbed, then we have to write minus sign in the product side. Okay, if it is and if heat is required, then we have to represent minus sign in the product side. Okay, अगर if heat is produced, then we have to represent it by the plus sign. Okay, in the which side? Product side. And if it is required for the proceeding of reaction, then we have to write minus sign in the product side. For example, for the combination of hydrogen and oxygen gas, in the gaseous form it is. Okay, for the combination of hydrogen and oxygen, it forms 2H2O. Plus heat is produced. Okay, it is produced by the combination of. Okay, if for example at this heat the amount of heat that is 572 kilojoule, that is 572 kilojoule. Okay, after that if it is, suppose that for the combination of required N2 plus O2, so it is in the gaseous form, nitrogen and oxygen when it combine, so it forms nitric oxide, 2NO, nitric oxide. Okay, and for this heat is required for the combination of nitrogen and the oxygen. Heat is required for the combination of nitric oxide, and that is what the amount of heat it is 180 minus 180 kilojoule. Okay, minus 180 kilojoule. So here, if minus heat is represented in the product side, it means heat is required. If plus heat is represented, it means heat is evolved. Means this is what exothermic reaction and this is what endothermic reaction. Okay. Now how many minutes it is completed? Okay. Then the last topic that is remaining, corrosion and rancidity. Let me discuss that. Okay. Corrosion and rancidity. Deterioration. Just wait 1 minute. Within 5 to 10 minutes, I think you have done this. So these are the chemical equation, okay, which can be more informative by the representing solid liquid physical states, or whether it is reversible or irreversible, or catalyst pressure temperature is used or not, okay, or gas is formed or precipitate is formed, okay. In such a way we can represent more informative. So next topic, that is corrosion. It is the effect of oxidation and reduction. Okay, corrosion. Suppose that the formation of, when we keep any substance for a long time in the open surroundings, either it is food supplement or it is metallic supplement. Okay, corrosion and rancidity. Next topic, that is corrosion and rancidity. Okay, suppose if we keep any metals or food supplement for a long time in the open surroundings, so what happen? It becomes Either it is food supplement, so it becomes spoil. It becomes spoil. Okay. And if it is either it is metallic substance, then also it becomes spoil. Suppose when we keep it the iron. Okay. So in the atmosphere, water vapor is present. Okay. Water vapor is present. So 2Fe plus XH2O. XH2O plus O2. It forms Fe2O3, ferric oxide dot XH2O. Okay, it forms ferric oxide, hydrated ferric oxide, which is the example of rust. Which is the example of rust. Brown color of rust is from the iron particles when we keep it in the open surroundings. So by the reaction of iron with the atmospheric water vapor and with the atmospheric air, it forms ferric hydrated ferric oxide. Hydrated ferric oxide. Okay, hydrated ferric oxide, which is known as rust. Okay, brown color hydrated ferric oxide, it is formed. When silver it react with the what? Hydrogen sulfide gas, H2S. So it form Ag2S, silver sulfide plus hydrogen gas. Okay, Ag2S plus hydrogen gas, which is black in color. Okay, it is black in color. Suppose that the ornament, okay, silver ornament it is wear by the women and girls. Okay, if we are using it, so when it is in the contact with the environment. Okay, so because in the environment hydrogen sulfide it is present. Okay, hydrogen sulfide gas is, so when it will react with these gases for a long time, so it will form what? Silver sulfide. Okay, silver sulfide, the black coating of silver sulfide, it is formed on the surface of silver. Okay, that is also one of the example of corrosion. Okay, and when copper metals it react with the carbon dioxide for a long time, so it is formed CuCO3, copper carbonate plus Cu plus Cu. That is what? Green in color. It is green in color. Clear? Just to balance it, 2Cu CO3. So here it is 2 plus 2Cu. 3 to the 6 oxygen, 2 3 the 6 oxygen. Okay, 2Cu, 2Cu. Wait. 3Cu3 you have to do now. Where it is not necessary. 2Cu, 3Cu. You have to write 3Cu. Okay, then 3CO2, 3 atoms of carbon, 3 atoms of carbon, na? Yes, 3 atoms of carbon, so we have to write here 3 atoms of carbon. Okay, so 3 atoms of carbon and 3 to the 6, 3 to the 9. So here what we have to do? What we have to do? Integrate with the 4 atoms. No, 4 atoms of copper. 4 atoms of copper. Sorry, 5 atoms of copper. Okay. First we have to balance it. This one. Then we have to balance that. So here it is 2 3 to the 6. 3 to the 6. And 3 3 the 9. So 2 3 the 2 copper carbon, that is 2 3 the 6. Okay, and here it is 3 carbon atom. So 3 carbon atom just to later we will discuss this So just you have to remember that when copper interacts with the carbon dioxide, okay, so it forms copper carbonate. Okay, when this copper metal interacts with the in the contact with the atmospheric carbon dioxide, so it forms copper carbonate, okay, and copper metals. So that it is what green in color, and that is Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty, it is a examples of what corrosion of copper metal. So what is corrosion? What is corrosion? The corrosion is a process. Corrosion is a process. Okay, corrosion it is a process. Definition of corrosion. Corrosion is a process. Okay, is a process of deterioration of metal. Of deterioration, okay, or eating up of metals, okay, as a result of its reaction with, as a result of its reaction with what? Atmospheric air and water vapor. Atmospheric air and water vapor. Okay, atmospheric air and water vapor. So corrosion is the process of deterioration of metals as a result of its reaction with the atmospheric air and water vapor. Okay, when any metals it is it is kept in the open surroundings for a long time, so it reacts with the atmospheric air. Okay, the gases which present in the atmospheric air, it react all the gases, and the water vapor which present also in the atmosphere. So these both it react, and what the metals slowly it is spoiled. Suppose a long, this what you can say, much more amount it is wastage because of the spoiling of metals, because of the deterioration of metals, corrosion of metals. Okay, so how can it be prevented? Okay, how can it be prevented? So first, by painting, prevention of corrosion. Right now, I think you have written this definition. Yes. So prevention of corrosion. Prevention of corrosion. Okay. First, by painting it. Okay. By painting on surface of metals. Surface of metals. Okay. How it will prevent? Because if we are painting any metals, so what happens? It prevents the contact of atmospheric air and the water with the metals. Okay, it prevents the contact of atmospheric air and water with the metals. So that in this way, what the painting it prevents the corrosion. Second point, by the galvanization. The layer of zinc over iron. Second, that is galvanization. Galvanization. What is the galvanization? The layer of coating of zinc. The layer of coating of zinc. Coating of zinc over iron. Over iron metal. Okay, coating of thin layer of zinc. Okay, the thin layer of coating of zinc. Okay, this is what thin layer. Thin layer of coating of zinc over iron metal. Okay. Thin layer of zinc. Yes, that is known as what? Galvanization. Why? Because in the thin layer of zinc, if it is coated, because zinc it is less reactive elements. Okay, zinc oxide, when it prevents the protective layer it forms. The zinc oxide, when it okay, if it is upper side, if any metals, if any iron metals, if it is surrounded by the zinc layer, okay, zinc layer. Suppose this is zinc layer, so it will react with the atmospheric air and it will form what? Zinc oxide. Zinc oxide it is a protective layer. This is a protective layer. Okay, why it is protective layer? Because it prevents the further oxidation. What is the formation of zinc oxide from the zinc? That is what? Oxidation. Addition of oxygen is what? Oxidation. So when zinc oxide is formed, so it is what? Protective layer. How it is protective layer? Because it prevents the further oxidation of these metals, zinc. So if it is means what? Prevented. So inside where okay, iron it is remaining, that iron it is protected by the zinc oxide. This is known as what? Galvanization. Second, third method, that is, I think you have got this. Okay. Now next point, that is applying grease. Okay, applying grease. Applying grease. Okay. Grease by using this, suppose that machines, whatever it is, okay, so different types of machines, by the applying of grease it becomes smooth. Okay, it is smooth and it also prevent the contact of air and atmospheric air and water with the metals. Okay, grease, so that what will the prevent the corrosion. Now chromium plating or tin plating. Next point, chromium plating. Chromium plating or tin plating. Okay, chromium plating and the tin plating also it is one of the process by which the metal it is coated or surrounded by the chromium or tin. Why? Because chromium and the tin it is less reactive as compared to the iron or the remaining metals. Okay, so that chromium, by the chromium plating and the tin plating also we can prevent it. Means chromium plate, the small layer of chromium plate it is surrounded by the remaining metals. Okay, the metals it is surrounded by the chromium or tin. So it is known as what? Chromium plating or tin plating. Next, making alloys. Okay, making alloys. Alloys it is a mixture of metals, two metals. Okay, mixture of two metals and the non-metals. Okay, so by making this, the alloy is what? Alloy is a homogeneous mixture of metals or with two or more other metals or non-metals. And why alloy is better than the metals? Because of its strength. Okay, because of its strength. First, on the basis of its strength, it is having greater strength as compared to its metal by which it is made up. Second, it is non-corrosive. Okay, and third point, that is what? Low melting point. It is having what? Low melting point. Okay, examples of alloy are brass, bronze. Okay, stainless steel, bronze. For example, bronze. Examples of alloy are bronze, which is what about copper and zinc. Sorry, copper and tin. Copper plus tin, that is bronze. Brass, copper and zinc. Okay, these are the examples of alloy. Okay, so by making the alloy also we can prevent the corrosion. So how can we prevent the corrosion? By painting on surface of metals, galvanization, failure of putting of zinc over iron. Okay, applying grease, chromoplating means the chromium is surrounded on any other metals. Okay, on the surface of any other metals, chromium or tin, and making alloys. Okay, mixture of metals, two metals, metals and non-metals, etc. Next and the last topic, that is rancidity. When we, what is rancidity? The change in odor and flavor of oily and fatty food by oxidation. Okay, last topic, that is rancidity. I think you have written this. Yes. Okay, rancidity definition. Definition of rancidity. Definition of rancidity. I think already lecture it is too long. Okay. So the change in odor and the flavor of the change in a odor and the flavor of fatty, okay, fatty foods by oxidation. Okay, this corrosion also it is an example of oxidation. Okay, by oxidation. The change in a color and odor and flavor of fatty foods by oxidation is called rancidity. It is known as rancidity. Okay, so when we keep it in an open surroundings, any oily food, okay, either it is vegetables, cooked vegetables, okay, or any what oily other foods. So when it is remaining for a long time, 2-3 days, so it is oxidized. Okay, it is oxidized and it is spoiled. You may get smell from the food items. Okay, so how can we prevent it? How can we keep the food items for a long time? So by adding prevention of rancidity. How can we prevent the rancid food? How can we prevent the food, okay, from the rancidity? So prevention of rancidity. Methods prevents rancidity. Prevention of rancidity by adding antioxidant. Okay, means antioxidant which prevent the oxidation. Okay, antioxidant which prevent the oxidation. For example, butylated hydroxyanisole. Butylated hydroxyanisole. Example of antioxidant. Butylated hydroxyanisole. BHA. Okay. Or BHT. BHT, which is butylated hydroxytoluene. Okay, this is BHA. Okay, and butylated hydroxytoluene, BHT. BHT also it is used as a antioxidant which prevent the rancidity. Second, by keeping in a airtight containers. Second point, by keeping in a airtight container. Okay, when we keep the food items, suppose that the chips which is packed, inside of the chips what nitrogen gas it is filled. So in a airtight container, what when we keep it, so it prevents the contact between the atmospheric air and water and that food items which is remain inside of that container. Okay. So by when we keep it in the airtight container, so then also what it prevents the rancidity. Third, by vacuum packing. By vacuum packing. Okay. Vacuum packing. If there is no any environment, inert environment is present. Okay. Inert environment is present inside of the container, so it becomes unable. Okay. By the vacuum packing, it becomes unable for the oxidation. Okay, for the oxidation. That keeps the vacuum environment, it is created and nitrogen gas it is filled here also. Okay, by preventing the air, means what, airtight container, if there is what, no air it is present, and by vacuum packing what, nitrogen gas it is filled. Next, by the refrigeration of food. Fourth point, by the refrigeration of food. Refrigeration of food. Okay. By the refrigeration of food means when we keep the food item in the refrigerator. So what happens? Because of the low temperature, okay, because of the low temperature, oxidation it is not possible. Because for the oxidation of any food item or any substance, a specific amount of temperature it is required. So if we keep it in the refrigerator, so because of the low temperature, it is unable for the oxidation. And next, by storing food away from light. Okay. Next and last point, by storing food away from the light. Away from light. Okay. Because some of the food items in the presence of light it is oxidized. Okay. So that we have to keep it away from the light, that becomes prevent the what, oxidation. Okay. So in this lecture I have completed what, all the topics. Okay. By this lecture now it is completed, chemical reaction and the equation. Okay. And if you have any query, any doubts, then you can ask me in my YouTube channel. And one more lecture I will make regarding this chemical reaction and equation, in which we will discuss about the question. Okay, such type of question which is difficult, which is not a theory, in which what we have to apply our memory, and after that we can solve it. So such type of question we have to discuss. Okay. So thank you very much for watching my YouTube video, and all the best all of you for your best future. So read well